To improve your Google Ads and get more leads. This is called Google Ads Discovery. And what I'm focusing on here is how to improve your Google Ads and what you want to get from them. Now, the reason I've called this Discovery is because of some of the videos that are on YouTube at the moment. They don't cover these elements, and that leaves you frustrated, and that leaves you wondering if you're doing something wrong or really just not understanding it all works. So how to improve your Google Ads. So firstly, you need to understand the game. So the reason I say understand the game here is right now you'll see on YouTube, and there's plenty of fantastic videos on how to set up your account and then how to optimize your account, and that just makes it work better. But you need to understand the game going in, and I'm going to break it down into what you need going through this process, and I do it in two stages. There's stage one and there's stage two. So stage one has already been covered by a lot of people on here, and that's the setup of your account. And there's some really good training about how to set your account up, what things to leave on, what things to leave off, all these different things. But they don't cover the discovery. And discovery is what I used to focus on when, over the last 15 years that I've worked at agencies, running Google Ads campaigns and actually getting results. So let's just move on. So it's stage one is just a setup. That's really what it is. And when you get into discovery, you are an investment in data. And what I mean by this is people will tell you how to set things up and how to set up your accounts, and all keywords and all these other different things will tell you how to set it up. But the data is the part that actually confirms it. In a marketing mindset, nothing happens until you get in front of people. And in this case, nothing happens until you get your account live. And it's probably not going to perform how you think. Even if you've done all the courses, all the setups, it's still not going to work as you think, as you expect it would. And you might think the harder you do the setup, the more that'll work. But actually, the data is what's going to tell you the answers. Now, I'm going to use the term broad here, renovation, which is something I've been working on. I'm working on a renovation company at the moment. And the reason I'm saying broad is because in the first month, which is when stage two discovery happens, that's when I'm sorting out, okay, what am I advertising for? How wide can I make it to start with? And then the data that comes out of it is what actually is how the account should be set up. And it's not like, if you're in the dark, you don't know anything. But if you see a light in the distance, then that's the gold. And same thing, as you go wide to start with, you let the account do the thinking for you, and it will cost you money. And you may not get results in the first month, but you are looking for that data that gives you the results you're after. And you can only do that by putting it out into the world. Now, again, data, because no one knows. Not even the slickest marketing salesperson. And that's, look, I'm a marketing person. I could have told you what works, what doesn't. But really, until you put it out into the world, no one knows what works. Yes, they might claim to, and there might be a lot of people who claim to know how it would exactly work. But until it gets out there and you see what works, and that's where it comes from. Discovery is discovering what works. And you can't do that until the account is up. You can't do it until it's out and it's live, and then you can make decisions on what to do. But in some cases, you're going to have to throw mud against the wall to get it started, and that's just the best way of doing it. I remember doing an account, and their spend was, in their first month, was $25,000, and they were then realised that, hang on, this is not as easy as we thought. And after that, they stopped everything because they couldn't actually get it to work. But the simple fact is they'd wasted all that data that they'd learnt. They'd wasted everything that they'd learnt from that process. And I was confident that I could get it profitable in the next month because they had that data. But they chose not to. So that's really interesting. Know what you want. You don't necessarily want to run Google Ads, but you want to get something from it. And a lot of the campaigns I do, they're not so focused on sales. They are focused on generating the right leads and getting those leads in the door to get them to the next process. So if you want more leads and you want to find out more about what I do, I've got a link down the bottom to a free course, and you can also get access to my live training. Once a week I do a live 1 hour training which I go through what I have been working on through the week and how it's benefited and what I have learned from being in the trenches. Bye for now, and I hope you've got some value out of this.